So here we have a few items that you need to use when you're black powder shooting. What I've done is I chose my top 10 items from my shooting box. First of all is PPE, a decent pair of ear defenders and some shooting glasses. Shooting glasses are always a must with black powder. However, if you have glasses or you need a prescription, and as you'll see from my later videos, I use prescription shooting specs, which are a slightly different proposition. You can pick these up for about £4, but my shooting glasses cost upwards of £200. The next item will just be protect your hands with a decent quality shooting glove. You can either go something like this or a thinner glove, but make sure that it's not plastic. It needs to be leather or something that doesn't burn. Certainly when you're shooting matchlock or any of the other guns which are a little bit sparky, so having a hat, a reasonable quality. I choose one with a closed front and I wear it backwards, and it just stops your hair and eyebrows getting burnt. The next item I would suggest would be a decent quality stapler. This is a heavy duty stapler. We've all seen it where you've been on the range and the target falls off, particularly in British weather, which is sometimes a little bit wet and windy. The next item I would choose is this. It's a simple magnetic board. I put a target on and laminated it, and then you can just mark your targets on when you've shot them. You can also number these items, which makes it easier for identification of your shots. Certainly if you start making mistakes or errors and the shots start coming over here, you can easily see what's happening and adjust. Very good training tool, that. The next item would be keeping oil bottles. I've got WD-40 here, not a great oil for black powder shooting, it's hydroscopic. However, if you just need to oil things on the range quickly, it's very easy and convenient. And I also use blister oil, which is a great fish-based oil made in Germany. Very good for gun stocks and metalwork as well. Some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, I love it. It's just one of those things. But make sure you always carry oil. Cleaning patches, of course, go with your oils. Make sure that you have cleaning patches in your box so that you can wipe out your rifle or musket quite quickly. It's not usually a problem during the summer, but in the winter when it's wet, cold, windy, just make sure you've got some just so that you can actually use your oils and sort that out. Nice and straightforward. When I'm on the range, when I'm shooting, I use this little device, very simple little wooden block. So nice and straightforward. When you've taken the shot, obviously it will be there. When you're using your powder, take it away, put it in the back one, then take your bullet. If it's like that, we then know, very straightforward, especially if you've been talking to people, as often happens to me on the range, you just have to check where you are, make sure that your gun is safe at all times, so that you know it when it's loaded and when it's not. If you had this, for instance, I would know that actually I've put a bullet in with no powder. It's a very simple, safe check and nice and straightforward. This little device, very straightforward. It's just for putting powder into the pan of your musket. It's made of metal and has a little release device at the end. When they come, quite often they have a brass screw thread in there. Personally, I'll take it out and put that in there so that if there is an accident, the body will stay intact and this will blow out the end. Some testing has been done recently by the MLAGB of Great Britain, and we found that actually this is one of the safest devices to use. We certainly wouldn't recommend using syringes or plastic bodied items. If there is an accident, they just explode, whereas this at least will explode out that way. Personally, I like to keep all my kit together. This is for my flint musket, and in this box I just keep things together. For instance, my balls, flints, and a few extra tools. Just keeps everything nice and together and make sure it's not rolling around the bottom of your toolbox. It's not a problem if you only got one gun, but I have about 12, so you need to just keep everything together, and certainly when you're on competition days, just keeps everything very straightforward. And lastly, in my top 10, this, very straightforward, shooting scope. A decent quality shooting scope will make your life a lot easier for seeing where your bullets are going. Not really a problem at 25 meters, but certainly if you're shooting at 50 and 100 meter or further, it is an excellent tool. So just make sure a nice, good one of these and a decent tripod, and it will make your life a whole lot easier. There you are, that's my top 10. Thanks for watching.